fourth year of the Bob Nielsen era at the University of South Dakota officially got underway this afternoon with the Coyotes eyeing a return to the FCS playoffs. USD beginning practice on a rainy afternoon with about 4 weeks to go till their season opener at the Dakota Dome against Montana. After making the second round of the FCS playoffs in 2017, a younger Coyote team fell back to 4-7 last year. This season's team brings a lot of starters back, most notably quarterback Austin Simmons on offense and All-American defensive lineman Darren Greenfield. Nielsen, who just got a 5-year contract extension, says he's as excited as he's ever been in any of his previous 26 years about this year's Coyote team, in part because they finally have a deeper roster to draw from.
You know, I like the depth in our O and defensive lines, which has been a problem for us the last couple of years. Excited for a lot of the younger players who we had a chance to see in the spring now to take that next step forward.
We just really had a great year, you know, coming together as a team and really building that team bond. So I think that's one thing that has extra excited about this fall. We're a really tight group. We've all really gotten after it this summer. So I think we're all pretty ready to go for week one.
Well, they better be. They have a challenging non-conference schedule. After the opener with Montana, USD heads to defending Big 12 champion Oklahoma. They also have a road game at Northern Colorado. The State B-Legion baseball tournament begins today in Lenox, headlined by its final game. Host Lenox won the State B high school championship back in June. They start their quest to complete the rare championship double play against the team that won last year's State B-Legion title, Dell Rapids. And in the top of the second, it's Dells that brings their boomsticks to this one. Eddie Price, yeah, the price is right. That's a solo shot as Dell Rapids goes out to a 1-0 lead on their ace for Lenox, Brock Anderson. And they'd strike again a little bit later in this inning as Brandon Garretts finds some space up the middle and gets that one through for an RBI single. Dell Rapids with a 2-0 lead. However, Lenox comes back in the third. Zach Leisinger, strong and long, and just a little bit gone over that wall for a 3-run homer as Dell Rapids now trails in this one 3-2, and they were having trouble closing out the inning with the bases loaded. Price on the mound. He plunks Brock Anderson. Lenox gets another run to score. They led 4-2. Dell Rapids came back to tie, but J.D. Kirshner hits a walk-off single in extra innings as Lenox gets a dramatic win, 5-4. What might have been the best game of the day before that was between Big Stone and Hartford-Humboldt. We'll start in the second. Hartford-Humboldt looking for a start, and they find it in Carter Healy. He gets a sac fly as post 62 goes up 1-0. They'll tack on another to make it 2-0. Looking to add on to it, Devin Gary with a fly ball. Look at Big Stone's Jasper Tweeter. That's worth tweeting about, but still goes as a run. It's 3-0 on the sac fly. Stayed that way into the sixth when Big Stone responds with some small ball here. That's Andrew Strong. It wasn't his strongest hit, but it cuts the lead to 3-1. Following just behind him is Caden Wellnitz with a bunt. And again, the small ball paying off because they can't field it. They score 3 in the inning to Big Stone to tie things up heading into the 7th inning when Hartford-Humboldt quickly gets back on top. Balls were really flying out in Lenox in the evening. Gary with a 2-run shot. They would score 4 in the frame, and Hartford-Humboldt gets the win, 7-3. Redfield and Tabor opened things up earlier this morning, and it was Redfield getting started bright and early in the first inning as Peyton Osborne hits the chopper. That's kind of a tough hop in the infield grass. He is safe, and Bennett Osborne comes home for the first run of the game as Redfield leads it 1-0. Just a few batters later, it's another Osborne, Camden Osborne. Bouncer back up the box, makes it 2-0. That's all the offense Redfield would get. It's pretty much all they'd need. Now credit to Tabor pitcher Trent Herbold. He comes out of the pen, works 6 2/3, struck out 5 over those 6 2/3 innings to keep him within 2. However, it was Bennett Osborne for Redfield dominant. He pitches a complete game with 4 punch-outs, and Redfield finishes the shutout, 2-0. Winter Colome and Beersford followed that. It was scoreless into the 4th inning when Winter Colome gets on a bit of a roll. Leighton drops a single right here. This is Leighton Feynman with an RBI single that just drops into left center field. That makes it 2-0 post 169. They're not done yet, though. Later in the same inning, Jordan Brune is up, and he'll connect on one that'll get through the hole. All part of a 5-run frame that gives Winter Colome a 5-0 lead after 4 innings. Same score into the 6th, and they're looking to tack on a few more. They do off the bat of Oscar Pravecek. 2 more runs come in to score on that hit, and it's 7-0. Turned out those were big insurance runs because Beersford had a bit of a rally in the 7th. Alec Atwood with a nice piece opposite field hitting. That would score 2. They would score 4 in the frame, but it's not enough. Winter Cologne gets the win 7-4. That tournament continues into tomorrow. And meanwhile, State A champion Renner walked off and won a State A championship. They're now preparing for the Central Plains Regional, which will be right in their own backyard, just 9 miles away from their home park in Renner at Sioux Falls Stadium.
This is the first year in 3 years we've been able to sleep in our own beds for the state tournament, and it was a big advantage this year. You know, they got to go back home and, you know, be familiar, get their home cooked meals. And so getting to play the Central Plains in Sioux Falls is going to be another great advantage.
And they will face Oshkosh, Wisconsin at 4 o'clock. Sioux Falls West is also in that tournament. They get the Minnesota State runner-up, the Minnesota State Legion tournament going on as we speak. Twins currently in action. They lead 11-9. Nelson Cruz having a big night with 4 RBI. We're back in 1 moment.